Hey guys, what's up? It's Robbie here with Open World Games, and are you guys ready for all new details about State of Decay 2? Because finally, there was a brand new gameplay demonstration released for State of Decay 2. You can find that in the description below, but there's some details that you may have missed from that demonstration. A lot of details. I'm going to go over that in depth right now, and I'm so excited for this game. I loved the first State of Decay, and thrilled to see that State of Decay 2 is shaping up to be so good. So we're going to be talking about the Blood Plague virus, Blood Plague zombies, how you cure yourself in the game of the Blood Plague. We're going to be talking about 4-player co-op, how that works, how it differs from the first State of Decay. We're talking about influence, the home base, weapons, how you interact with fellow co-op players, and also neutral townsfolk as well. Plus, yes, the graphics. Have they improved? What's going on with the graphics engine? So let's dive into this right now. So again, yes, keep in mind the game is 4-player co-op. That's like really going to be a core experience with the game. You can play it in single player, of course, but man, a lot of us were wanting that 4-player co-op, and here it is in State of Decay 2. And it's going to be playable on 3 different open world maps. You may have heard that before, but let's dive into those new features. So when searching for items in the open world, you'll be notified of your home base's status. Do they have enough medical equipment, ammo, gas, food? How are they doing? Now, interestingly, in the demonstration, you can clearly see that each player's home base status was different as they rummaged through a restaurant. That's really curious considering that they're on one map. Now, this can indicate several different things, but what the game did notify the player of is, hey, you can actually help upgrade and maintain your friend's home base in this world. So that is confirmed. That's something that you can help out with when you join your friend's world. But it's really curious that everyone had a different influence meter, and then also different status for their home bases. It makes you wonder if you can have multiple home bases on one map. We'll see what happens with that, but it was in the menu, it was on your UI, and it was cool to see that that was kind of perhaps teased for a future reveal, maybe in the future for State of Decay, because State of Decay 2, I mean, because, you know, IGN, they're doing extensive coverage. You could find where to follow that coverage in the description below. By the way, if you don't want to miss anything, see the description. You're going to want to follow the page I have set up for you guys for sure. Now, what about that Blood Plague virus? What about these Blood Plague zombies? They sound creepy as hell, so let's talk about those. So, these are actually going to be instances around the map. You'll be seeing like a red heart on your map down in the lower left corner. So these are going to be where the Blood Plague zombies hang out. But more importantly, this is where the Blood Plague heart is going to be. So if you get, let's say you get bit by one of these Blood Plague zombies, you get infected with the Blood Plague virus, you're in trouble. So how do you cure yourself? Well, you're going to have to go searching for Blood Plague samples, and the only way to really find one is to destroy a Blood Plague heart. But here's the twist. If you start hitting a Blood Plague heart, it is going to basically attract a ton of zombies in your area. So you have been warned. It's going to be absolute chaos. So be prepared to take on an infestation of zombies. And yes, influence does return in this game. You gain a whopping 150 influence for destroying a Blood Plague heart. And what influence is it's basically a way you can upgrade your base and do all sorts of stuff at your home base. Of course, you know, upgrade your followers and all sorts of cool stuff. You gain more influence by completing missions and killing those zombies. Now, there are different ways you can actually interact with your group. Let's say you join randoms or you join your friends. You can actually use emotes and interact with them. Now, there's emotes like zombie, crying, saluting, laughing, and more. And I imagine that there might be more unlocked down the road. Now, acting like a zombie is the most intriguing emote of all. Could this indicate you might be able to fake being a zombie perhaps in the future? Much like The Walking Dead, you may remember them smearing the blood all over you. That would be a really cool feature for sure. Now, also, you'll run across neutral townsfolk who will offer their own missions and help Now, some of these side quests will appear on your map screen as what is called external goals, and like the first State of Decay, will have a time limit in discovering them. So you gotta sometimes pick and choose what you want to do, but more will refresh as time moves on. Now, you can also eventually recruit some of these neutral townsfolk as followers. Like maybe you find a doctor, you're gonna want to put that doctor at the medical tent, and that's going to be important for the medical tent to actually function properly, especially if you have someone on there already that doesn't know what the hell they're doing, so keep that in mind. Now, the graphics themselves are much smoother than the first State of Decay. IGN even spoke to this and said that it's a really good improvement over the first State of Decay, so that is wonderful to hear. It really did kind of hold back the first State of Decay. Those graphics, they ran kind of choppy and had problems. Now, the game is running on the Unreal Engine, and the nighttime looks creepy. Man, they spoke about how they are doing the nighttime. Here's a screenshot. Maybe you missed this screenshot, but they're really going after a nighttime experience that's super realistic. They want it to be dark. So you can expect this game to really mirror what nighttime is like in real life. You do not want to get caught out in the open at nighttime because zombies will come after you. And you can see how beautiful this game looks. It ran really well on IGN's gameplay demonstration. Good frame rate. It was running on a PC. We have yet to see it on Xbox One or Xbox One X. But even IGN said from what they have seen, it's looking really, really good. So yeah, I am super hyped for that. But let's dive into more details for you guys. So let me find those. All right. So of course you will be upgrading your skills as you go. So how does progression work in this game? Well, think kind of like Skyrim. If you've played Skyrim and you use your bow or you use a sword, you're basically upgrading that skill related to whatever you're doing. So they showed a character using his axe, and then he upgraded the endurance of his character. And then also one character was using a rifle, and then you saw that they were level 4 in weapon handling suddenly when they got the headshot. So the more you do stuff, the more you upgrade. But remember, there's like a twist to everything in this game. If you die in this game with the character you have, it's permadeath. So you're going to have to start with a new character in the world. But I think that's a pretty cool feature. It makes you really attached to the character you currently have. And, of course, super paranoid. And yes, you can drive around in State of Decay 2 and even open your car doors to smack zombies around as you drive. Imagine going with your co-op buddies, like all 4 of you guys in a minivan, opening all of your doors at once. That's something you can actually do. Now, each car will have a meter notifying you as to how much gas you have left in the vehicle. So just keep that in mind. You may want to scavenge for gas, of course. Now, you'll be able to set off traps and fireworks for zombies to easily create ambushes for your squad. It's going to be a total freaking blast in co-op. Something, of course, that was missing in the first State of Decay. Now, infestations are also going to be returning in this game. So you're going to be clearing out homes and earning that influence by clearing out big zombie hordes. So there's going to be a wide variety of, well, they call them freakers in State of Decay. So you're going to be seeing juggernauts, all sorts of like siren type zombies that could scream out, screechers and everything. Wide variety. And then also, you got to remember, on top of all this is the blood plague zombies as well. Now, a really cool example of scavenging in the game was seeing them scavenge an ambulance. You won't expect to see fruit coming from an ambulance. You'll expect to see realistic items in realistic places. So if you scavenge an ambulance, for example, you will net medical equipment, and there's a wide variety of medical equipment that you can net as well from an ambulance or whatever that's relevant to what you are scavenging. Now, when exploring an area, you will be notified of potential resources in that area, so you know if you have cleared that particular house or building without worrying about moving on. I loved this feature in the first State of Decay, and the returns in this one as well. Also notifies you if there are other zombies still lingering around, so it does give you more of a sense of what's going on. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you want to see more of a hardcore option where you can shut that off? Because I think a lot of you may actually want to shut that off, of course. And moving on, let's talk about the weapon scene in the demo. So we did get to see the silenced sniper rifle, an assault rifle, shotguns, pistols, Molotov cocktails, and more. The melee weapons were really cool too. Machetes, pikes, and what appeared to be a fan blade of some kind on a pole, which I thought was the coolest one out of all of them. Let me know what you guys think, of course. But yeah, expect to be, you know, scavenging, crafting stuff, upgrading your home base, trying to survive, and also keeping the peace at your home base. You know, playing politics is going to be also really important in the game. Pleasing everyone is going to be super hard, and you're going to have to take on a lot of responsibility, keeping people pleased, keeping them well fed, you know, making sure they are taken care of. And then also at the same time, taking care of yourself. Now, I don't know if you guys know what's going on in this screenshot, but this is cool. This is showing off the mechanic where if one of your survivors or followers gets bitten and they get infected, you have the option of exiling them or just leaving them be or executing them. So it's kind of like that Walking Dead moment, you know, what's going to happen? So you have that choice in the game. Let me know what you would do. Would you risk someone roaming around your community? Would you really exile them? We've all seen what happens in The Walking Dead when they leave a zombie lingering around. It comes back and it kills someone. So let me know what you would do. And then, of course, there's some really cool art here that we see here from State of Decay 2. This looks like one of the more town areas of the game. Remember, yes, there are those 3 maps. So they're probably going to reveal those gradually, and I'm curious to see if any of the maps can actually interact with one another. Can you run all 3 home bases at the same time? How does this work? This mechanic, you know, the 3 maps, I am very, very excited for indeed. And then also, yep, you got your zombies, your freakers, they call them. Very creepy stuff, man. And I can't wait to explore the game at nighttime. I'm going to like the challenge personally. So I'm looking forward to it. But there are some new facts, guys, about State of Decay 2. I am so hyped for this game over here. It's going to be $30, and it will be releasing on May 22nd on Xbox One, Xbox One X, and PC. It's got a Play Anywhere function, so you could take your save file from the Xbox One over to the Xbox One X or even the PC. So you can basically just go around and play with everyone from every platform. I know it's a shame it's not coming on PS4. I would love to tell you guys this game is available on every platform imaginable, but it is considered a Microsoft exclusive. And yeah, Microsoft seems to know what they are doing as long as the game doesn't like overdo it with microtransactions or something, because that $30 price point is really good. And they say that they want to support the game a lot with that post-launch content, which I think is always wise to try to keep the community around. Build a huge base community first with a low entry point. You know, Fortnite has the lowest entry point ever, $0. It's free. So that's kind of, I think that's the thinking here. And then, of course, if you do have the Xbox Game Pass, you could just use that and subscribe to that, and then you get access to State of Decay 2 and then a library of Xbox games, which I think is going to be something that catches wind and becomes a new trend on consoles and PC here in the future. It's kind of like a Netflix service for gamers, so I do expect a lot of other companies to really pick up on this and try it for themselves. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Open World Games for more State of Decay 2 and more zombies and open world gaming goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.